Congratulations, you actually clicked on this video, you rebel. So, this video is talking about clickbait, and that's because I was recently called out on one of my articles that I wrote over on Nintendo Enthusiast, and some people were not very happy about it because they said I had a very clickbait title. And so I just wanted to explore this article, this headline that was apparently so very clickbaity, and just give my opinion on what I think clickbait really means and why it's kind of an overused term these days. So this article talked about why I think Planet Coaster would be a great fit on the Nintendo Switch. So I titled it A Switch Surprise Planet Coaster. And people weren't happy about that because they assumed that this was some type of an announcement, like the game is actually coming over to the Switch. So they got upset because they clicked the article thinking it was an announcement, and then it turned out to just be an opinion piece. And they were upset because they felt misled. They thought that I clickbaited them. And really, that's the problem here, is that it's reader misinterpretation. It isn't exactly my fault that people thought that this was an announcement. And as a result, people asked me, hey, can you change this title? Even some of my coworkers said, hey, maybe this might not be the best title for the article because it gave people a wrong idea. Now, the thing is, this isn't my first time actually doing a Switch Surprise article. I think this is actually my 5th one or so. And so when I saw this reaction, I was surprised because I posted the article in the morning, and then I went out. 5 hours later, I came back home, and that's when I saw all the reactions. And I was like, wait, what? What's happening here? And see, the problem I have with this is that there are based 3 very clear signs that show that this was not an announcement. So I'm just going to quickly go over them. On the Facebook page, the caption that I had put says, from one of our writers, LAKEY, because that's how I title all of my article posts, to make sure to single it out, is that this is my article just to show that, you know, it's an opinion piece. And it says, Planet Coaster was a game that impressed me so much, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 on PC. A Switch version is almost too perfect of a fit and would probably make the game even more enjoyable. That's sign number 1 to show that this is an opinion piece. Number 2, the SEO excerpt at the bottom says, Frontier's Planet Coaster is a game that supplied hours of fun for me on PC, but I think I'd enjoyed even more if it were on the Nintendo Switch. That is the second sign, very clear to see. And the third sign is the disclaimer in the article itself. It says, A Switch Surprise is a series of articles discussing games that I think should come to the Nintendo Switch. In other words, this is just an opinion piece. In this article, I'll be talking about Planet Coaster from Frontier. Now that part where I say, in other words, it's just an opinion piece, I added that after I saw the negative reactions just so more people wouldn't come at me saying, oh, this is clickbait. But my whole thing is that this is an article, right? The whole purpose of an article is for you to read it. So if you're reading, then you shouldn't get upset that you felt misled. If you just read it instead of actually just having a knee-jerk reaction, because that's what I think the majority of people who complained about the title did. They have a knee-jerk reaction. They saw the title, they got excited, and when it turned out to not be what they thought it was going to be, then that's when they got angry. And again, it's not my fault because I titled it. I gave it the title because I thought it sounded nice. And even if people did get the wrong impression, again, read the signs that show that this is just an opinion piece. Don't get upset at me. Get upset at yourself. You misinterpreted it. That's not my fault. I wasn't trying to mislead you. It was never my intention. If I title the article, Planet Coaster coming to the Nintendo Switch, ... would be great, then yes, get angry at me. Because the first part of that, before the ... that would probably be the only thing that's seen in a social media window because they tend to cut off titles that are too long. So yeah, that would have been clickbait. But I just said, a Switch Surprise, Planet Coaster. And again, it's not my first time using this title. Now, I'm going to write some future pieces with other games I'd wish come to Nintendo Switch. And I think I'm going to call it, This Should Make the Switch instead. Not the instead part, but this should make the Switch. That's something, a title I think is a little bit more clear and less clickbaity as people see. But really, does this count as clickbait? Actually, there's a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of clickbait. And it says, Something such as a headline designed to make readers want to click on a hyperlink, especially when the link leads to content of dubious or value or interest. See that? Now it says, especially when the link leads to content of dubious value or interest, not only. So really, a lot of things can be considered clickbait. Basically, from this definition, you could say that there is very lighthearted clickbait, and then there's very malicious, quite deliberate clickbait. I think what my title falls under would be more lighthearted clickbait. And really, when you think about it, when you post something on the internet, you want it to be seen. That's the whole purpose of posting it on the internet, whether it be a picture, a video here on YouTube, or an article in this case. You want it to stand out because likely there's more and more people who have other things related to whatever you're posting. And even if it's something totally original, you still want it to gain some attention. So with that being the case, of course you're going to show something or have a title that stands out, that looks interesting, that will get people interested enough to click on whatever it is. That's the whole purpose of posting something on the internet, to get attention. And so when you're titling something like an article or a video on YouTube, naturally you're going to want to go with something interesting. Now, some YouTubers, they do go ahead and use very obvious clickbait. A lot of vloggers do it very often. A lot of vloggers do it very often, for example, but at the same time, when it comes to clickbait, so to speak, again, you have the malicious and you have the lighthearted clickbait. The malicious clickbait, that's the type where the title is obviously just very sensationalist, and it's just for the purpose of getting people to click on the video. Sometimes what's in the video actually isn't even related to whatever the title is, or something incredibly more simplistic than what the title was suggesting. I consider that to be malicious clickbait. But lighthearted clickbait, it's just enough to get you interested enough to click the link. And really, when it comes down to clickbait, is it rightful to even get upset? Now, I've been clickbaited before, but I've never gotten upset at the creator. Well, sometimes I would get upset, like, yeah, you really shouldn't have titled this video like this. You're just doing this just for the sake of attention. There's nothing of value here. But I've never actually gone to the comment section and say, man, this title is clickbait. Oh, because the person already knows that what they made was clickbait. There's no need to harp on that. But really, when it comes down to clickbait of any form, whether it's malicious, whether it's lighthearted, who has the right to get upset? Does the viewer really have the right to get upset? I think of it in a way as a fisherman and a fish, since we're talking about baiting. A fisherman throws his line out into the water. He has the bait attached to his hook. The fish grabs that bait, the fisherman reels him in, and now boom, the fish is dead. Fish life is over. He's getting eaten tonight. So sad for him. But does that fish, in the split second that he has to live while he's gasping for air on the dock, does he have the right to say, how dare you did this to me? No. No, he doesn't, because he's the one who took the bait. Think about it. The fish took the bait. The fisherman didn't harpoon the fish or net the fish. He didn't capture the fish. It's different if he captured the fish. Then yes, the fish has a right to be upset. But the fish willingly took that bait. As a result, it's the fish's fault that he's now dying on the dock, gasping for air, about to be eaten in a few hours. Likewise, and I know that's a very silly analogy, but it makes sense when you think about it. Likewise, when it comes to clickbait of any kind, malicious or lighthearted, when you click the link, you willingly made the decision to click the link. The creator did not force you to do it. All right, he did not force you to do it. It's not like you clicked a website and then it redirected you to something else. Now, in that instance, yeah, you were technically captured. But when you willingly click a link, that is on you, whether it's clickbait or not. You fell for it. So at the end of the day, really, the only person you can genuinely get upset with, rightfully so, is yourself, because you fell for it. And that's the way I see it. But like I said, I just wanted to make this video basically just to rant, because I thought it was something, it's just so silly, because it's like, why are you getting upset at me? You misinterpreted it as an announcement when it wasn't. I wasn't trying to make it seem like it was some type of an announcement. I just thought the title sounded cool, which is why I used a Switch Surprise. But like I said, I will change it. Even though I still think that the criticism is unjustified in this case, I will still go ahead and change my title to use something a little bit more direct and to show that this is more of an opinion piece and not an announcement. And if anyone decides to complain that it's still clickbaity, then yeah, I can't do anything about that, because it's like, well, that's 100% on you. you misinterpreted it. But again, use this as a lesson, anyone. If you see something interesting on the internet and you click on it, if it doesn't turn out to be what you assume that it was going to be, so what? So what? Like, oh man, I was tricked. What does it matter? Unless you like paid for something and it didn't turn out to be what you thought it was going to be, then you don't really have a reason to complain because you didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything. You maybe lost a few seconds of your life, but so what? You're just browsing the internet. There's no reason to get so upset. Okay, there's no reason to get so upset. Now, some creators, yes, they can be validly criticized for using clickbait, and they should stop that. But at the end of the day, clickbait, really it all depends on how you react to it. Are you going to click that link? If you do, that's on you. That's the way I see it. I just wanted to share my thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about clickbait, and tell me if you think that title, Switch Surprise, was clickbaity. With that said, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.